Alright, Shit Talk Sundays, episode, fuck knows what episode this is, maybe 10 or something by now. But we've got Warpsa as a guest on Skype. How's it going, brother?
Fucking not too bad, not too bad. Just doing my thing, you know.
Doing your thing, kicking
Mm.
back?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it, man.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of questions written down. I'm not going to just read straight off the pad. We'll probably go off the cuff a little bit and just talk some shit. But start with the basics, I suppose. I know you from where we grew up, like at the local town, Kalgoorlie. But besides that, I didn't really meet you. I didn't meet you through music or nothing like that. I met you through the fucking skate park. So, where were you born?
I was born in Esperance, bro. So I'm an Esperance boy.
Yeah, see shit. That's shit that I didn't even know already.
So there you go. There you go. But no, born in Esperance and shit. Lived there till I was about 10. And then made the move to Cal. Been in Cal, been in Cal ever since pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so growing up in Esperance till 10, what did you do?
Well, fucking rode a lot of motorbikes, push bikes and shit. Fucking done a little bit of surfing, but mostly motorbikes and shit back then, yeah.
Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know, Esperance is 4 hours away from Kalgoorlie, and it's like the only town close to us. It's the closest beach. So he was born in Esperance. That's a little bit of a background. How did life change when you moved to Kalgoorlie?
It was pretty different, you know. Obviously, it's a bigger town and shit. A bit of a different way of life as well. More of a harder town, old Kalgoorlie, but Esperance anyway. But no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good transition anyway. So yeah.
So, were you into music? Like you obviously weren't rapping. Well, I don't know. You might have been, but were you into music at that age before you come to Kalgoorlie?
Probably not at that age. Probably more towards like late primary school years. Definitely started to write little bits of shit, but never full on did it. I try to copy Eminem a lot, and like, you know, I'd listen to a lot of fucking. I had the Curtain Call CD, bro. It was my first CD and shit, man. And I used to listen to it and read the little fucking pamphlet at the back and like write down the words to fucking Yellow Brick Road all the time, man. Like it was my favorite Eminem song and shit.
Yeah,
And
so that's dope.
I got into it in that sort of sense, not sort of like, writing hardcore at that age.
Yeah, 100%. So, growing up in Cal, you were 10. What school did you go to?
I went to fucking Castletown, then I went to Star at the Sea. So I went to a public school, then I went to a private school.
Yeah, righto. And then what about in Cal? Where'd you go in Cal? KB, yeah?
Yeah, I went to KB and shit.
Yeah.
I went to Kent and then Hannons and then KB, yeah.
Yeah. So how far through high school did you get?
End of year 9 probably, bro.
Yeah, see, because it's funny. I remember when I was growing up in high school, I was going into year 8, and you and all like Mark Redmond and fucking Aaron McMeekin and all them cunts were about year 10.
Yeah, because I probably got to about second term of year 10, man. But like, I literally was just fucking around, bro. Like, I wasn't going to school and shit. I was just busy wagging at the skate park and shit, you know,
Yeah.
fucking dope, doing my thing, you know, like,
Yeah.
yes. I don't really count the first 2 terms and shit, but yeah, as far as education goes anyway, it's probably end of year 9, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you reckon by that stage you were taken? Did you think music was what you wanted to do? But I also know you were a lot of people wouldn't know this, but you were a gun at the skate park. So like, was music after that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know. I've always loved shit with wheels. Like, me and my brother have always loved shit with wheels, and it's just how we've always been. But I didn't take music very seriously until sort of later teens. So, not in high school. I wasn't, you know, real hardcore into it. Nah.
So what were you like? Were you smoking bongs? What were you doing? What was life like around year 10?
Year 10, man, was like not going to school. It was waking up, scratching up for a stick at the bus stop, going to get a stick, finding somewhere to smoke the cunt, which was usually at the skate park or some dunny cunt's house, and then going for a shred, man, and then shredding all afternoon, and that was pretty much fucking life. Like, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, righto. So, yeah, see, that's interesting to me. And then, so, when did because you got into the graphing and shit too, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
All this shit's starting to go through my head now, like all these like memories of how I remembered you.
Yeah.
So like you used to hang out with Linton Miller and all them cunts, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what you think started getting you into the graph scene and that sort
Uh,
of?
yes, dude. Straight up, when I got introduced to graph, it was Chase Taylor and Jake Taylor introduced me to graph
Yeah,
properly, and I started, learning off them. Chase would teach me his handies and shit, and I started doing all that shit. And then I became friends with Linton and shit, and started hanging out with him, and then we'd all fuck around, do our thing. You know what I mean? But the graph did possibly lead a lot towards music as well because of the way that the Oz rap scene is and heavily incorporates graph. But like that's just hip hop in general, you know what I mean? But definitely had a love for graph to
yeah,
begin with. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
And is that, I seen this is one of the questions from Instagram, is that where the name Warpsa came from?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly where it came from. So I only had like 2 words really. I wrote cosmic, and then I didn't like the length of the word, and I just thought it sounded a bit whack. But I just wanted a short word, so I wrote warps a lot, and then just put the A on the end for a bit of warpsa, so it rolls off the tongue, and yeah, that was it.
fucking earth. Alright, so year 10, that's like 16, 17, you're probably fucking around, smoking weed, going to skate park, doing the usual shit. You talk about in your music a lot, like drug use and all that sort of shit. What age did that start becoming present in your life?
So probably towards 18, 19. So I moved out of home probably a week or so after I turned 18. So probably like January 2013, I moved out of home. I was 18, had my missus at the time. Moved out of home with my workmate. I was hanging around one of my mates. He used to get into gear a bit, like, because of his older brother and shit.
Yeah.
And I started associating with him, smoking dope with him, having a couple of lines here and there, doing a lot of fucking pingers and shit, and so on and so forth. And it got to a point, because I was only a young cunt, I was on a fucking shitty wage, man. I was just pretty much spending a lot of my money and time on the drugs, man, instead of going, calling in sick all the fucking time, living
So
from
let's pause for a second. What were you doing for work?
At that sort of time, right when I moved out, I was just installing blinds for Curtin Villa. Like, I was just making blinds and shit, and then doing that sort of shit. Yeah, at that time, like, and yeah.
So yeah, shitty wage, getting into the partying and the drugs a little bit. So you just thought. So then what happened?
Well, then ended up getting an apprenticeship through doing blinds, and I was doing carpool lane, right? Me and my missus' relationship fell to shit a lot. She moved out, and I was left with this house on an apprentice wage to pay for that I was already scraping by with, man. You know what I mean? So it was already fucked. So I had to think of another way to fucking make coins. So me and my brother had this brilliant idea. Yeah, we're going to fucking start selling dope like every other fucking cunt sort of does. You know what I mean? He moves in and shit. He starts slinging dope with me, and then fucking, yeah, we start making money on the side that way, trying to survive. And there was a lot of nights, man, where we went without because we didn't sell fuck all, and we smoked a lot of our shit. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't smoke all that shit. We'd had fuck all. Like,
Been there, done that. Yeah. Like it's the usual struggle when you're selling fucking dope as well, because you just fucking chew through it, you smoke it, and you don't really think about the money.
That's right, man. That's right.
So you're selling dope, you're fucking around. Is this house that you're talking about? Is this Collins Street?
Yeah, Collins Street. Now, Collins Street went through many years of my life. So Collins Street was pretty much the ages of like 18 to pretty much almost 22. 18 to 21. Let's just say 21. And probably the biggest life-changing years next to, 16, 17, 18 as well. So, but Collins Street in the spans of 18 to 19 was a lot of like younger me. That's when I wrote songs like fucking Struggle Street about fucking walking to work and shit all the time. I didn't have a license and shit at 19, like, always walking to work, fucking around. And then when I finally did get my license, I made a fucking song. I can't even remember the fucking song, but I talk about my fucking car being broken and I can't even afford to fucking fix the car and shit. And then it got to a point, man, in about 2016, start of 2016, where I just was like, fuck it, what more can I lose? I quit my job, bro, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to deal full time. And I'm going to get crack. So I was like, either I'm going all in, or we're not fucking, or I'm gonna go legit, sort of shit. You know what I mean? And that's sort of when when Trek sort of moved in.
Yeah, right. So for we'll pause there for just a second. For anyone that doesn't know, most of you would know because if you listen to Kurt's music, it's in the music, and he's done a lot of songs with Trexer. But Trexer was a good mate of both of ours who made music and probably hung around Warpsa a lot more than he hung around me. I knew him through my older brothers and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a backstory. He sadly passed away, rest in peace. But yeah, that's who Trexer is. So continue with your story.
Yeah. So yeah, about that time, Trex sort of moved in, and at that time, Trex, not even speaking ill, but he used to hustle. He could hustle, and he'd hustle whatever he could get his hands on and shit. You know what I mean? Doing his thing, and most of it was a bit of gear and shit. But he came into the picture, and we sort of had like a little partnership going on where we're getting some other shit from up here in Perth and coming back down and flogging them off. So we'll come up, get some caps and fucking hustle them through in Cal. And like Cal, back in those times, like we'll flog them, you'll flog caps for fucking $40-$45 a pop, and so you make some good return, man. Fucking oath, you can make some good money. Plus, here's me, I'm on the sniff as well. I'm sniffing gear because he's fucking doing it as well, and plus smoking dope and fucking selling dope, and got my brother and his little network of fucking cunts moving that shit for me, so I'm not involved. All I see is the fucking money at the end of the week when I say, yo, it's time to collect.
So it's all looking pretty for, at that time, it all looks good, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we were rolling good, man, like, making fucking some good coin. Like, we were making some fucking good coin. And that's when I ended up going into another partnership with one of my other mates, with Aaron. So I go in a shit with him, and we start moving together in like dope and whatever, and because I sort of wanted to get out of doing cabs with kids, so I just sort of like, I want to call it quits sort of thing and just hustle dope.
Yeah.
So I was just doing that and shit, but it got to a point, man, where I was getting stressed. Like, the money was good, but it was a fucking 24/7 fucking thing. Anyone that fucking deals knows, like, and hustles and does everything, they fucking know. It's like there's no days off, there's no fucking public holidays. You fucking flat chat.
And people don't treat you like a person either. You get treated like a drug dealer. You get treated like, where are you? Are you awake? Are you ready? Have you got it? Like, it's flat stick.
That's exactly fucking right, man. And the funny thing was, bro, when I was doing my thing, and with 4 or 5 other boys. So, when someone wouldn't pay their tip, they'd hit up old mate, and fucking, you'd rock up in the car with them and be like, what's going on? Mm. So, and yeah.
Small town as well.
Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah, small town. Yeah, small town. But yeah, that sort of time, that's when I sort of was like, fuck it, I'm going to stop. And that was around 2017. So for a full fucking year, maybe even a bit more, probably about halfway through sort of 2017, I was like going hard at it. And then I was like, nah, fuck it, I've had enough. Because I was getting fucked up, man, where the drugs were fucking me up. And I was having like mad anxiety attacks and shit where I couldn't fucking sleep properly and shit. Like, I was just on edge all the fucking time and shit, and...
Were you smoking dope this whole time?
I quit for a bit. Like, this is right up to about here. So I was smoking dope that whole time, yes. And this is when, I had one anxiety attack, right, where I thought I was having a fucking heart attack. I had some bird over in my fucking bed, and I had a heart attack. I felt like I had a heart attack, right? I walked out into the lounge room and I told Kieran, cunt, I'm having a fucking stroke. And he's looking at me going, smile and shit. And I'm like, trying to smile. And he's like, nah, dude, you're wigging out. And I'm like, nah, man, fucking, I'm going to the fucking hospital. Take me to the hospital. So he flogs me up the hospital and shit. And I'm wigging out. And then the doctor's like, dude, you're all good, man. Like, you're just having an anxiety attack. And I'm like, okay. So I just gave it upon myself. I was like, fuck this. I'm going legit. I'm going clean. So I just quit everything.
Yeah.
Stop drinking. I even stopped smoking ciggies, man. Like, I just went cold turkey. And that only lasted, cold turkey lasted for a month. So about 4 weeks, because I moved back to my mum's house. I was like, straight, I'm fucking, sold my fucking whole house, shipped out, fucking told my brother, we're fucking off back to mum's, that's it, So I fucked off and I went, it was sort of like a rehab. I was giving myself a fucking rehab sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I wrote Self-Destruct. So back when I wrote Self-Destruct was when yeah, it's pretty much I came out of that sort of Collins Street era. And then I went all good for a couple months. Then so fucking drinking again.
Yeah.
Then that led to smoking ciggies because I fucking crave darts when you're having a drink. So
Yeah.
that shit. And then I pretty much was just like, fuck it, I'm going to smoke dope again. And then here I am fucking smoking away. But yeah, at that sort of time I did go clean. But then
Just to
I
sort
realized,
your shit out.
yeah, pretty much just to sort of find my feet. But don't get me wrong, bro. I fucking have anxiety attacks every single day, man.
100%. Once it's there forever.
It is, man. And it's not, it's like a social anxiety thing too. So it's like a very, we get out around other people and shit. It's fucked.
Well, yeah, well, I'm the same as well, and the more dope I smoke, the worse it gets. But I don't know, I feel like I've got to do something, so I smoke dope. But that's pretty much a rundown of your whole, like that gives everyone a good insight of Collins Street and a lot of songs that relate to Collins Street as well. And I think that will just,
Yeah.
like, if you go back and listen to these songs now, that will put a lot of pieces together.
Yeah, probably resonate a bit better with people and be like, oh, so that's what he's fucking talking about. Because I have been told as well, my songs are a lot really direct to me. And I suppose that's sort of like why I write music is because just get it off my fucking chest, man.
100%.
Like, that's the only. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
talking about music, what is your favourite track you've written or you've released? Let's say that you've released.
Man, that's a tough one, man, because like I always like my latest song or like, yeah, that I always make, but probably the song with the most heart, man, probably Chasing Dragons 1. That was like I wrote that maybe a month or so. It was the first thing I wrote pretty much after Kieran died, after writing his songs, after he passed away. And that was sort of like, I was in a fucking tough spot there, man. It was just real shit for me, like, and it was just sort of dealing with the fact, as you would know, like dealing with the fact that that's what's happened and that's what's happened, you know what I mean? And it's a fucking hard thing to try and accept, but yeah, fuck yeah, Chasing Dragons, man, probably, yeah.
100%. So yeah, 100%. I agree that that hard time and that real raw moment where you feel like it's almost where you feel like you're at the fucking edge. You're at the very edge, and it's make or break. Not make or break as in you have to make a good song or something like that, but it's make or break where you either take the route to keep pushing forward or the route to give up and just fucking call it quits. You know?
Write it all off, man. Yeah, fucking oath.
So,
Like, to be completely honest, man, I was more once I moved to Perth, like I started being more heavily involved in my job, and like it was going towards the way that I was possibly going to stop making music altogether.
yeah.
And then, yeah, like, and then that sort of shit happens, and it's sort of like I don't do it for me anymore, man. Like I do it for him as well. Like, yeah.
100%, bro, and that's something I can relate to. So that's fucking real talk. If you haven't heard Chasing Dragons, go listen to both of them. Obviously, a lot of people relate to, I think, your lyrics and your struggles, because it's not your struggles and your life and shit isn't so unrelatable. You know, we listen to some music and it's very unrelatable. Like I can relate, but some of it is very fucking out there. You know, whereas I think your stuff is everyday fucking struggles that people really go through. So fucking go check that shit out. Yous will love it. What was your first show? Have you done many shows?
I've probably done about 4, maybe 4. I haven't done too many. But my first show, man, shout out Grant Cartledge, man. If you fucking ever watching this, man, shout out you, man. Because way back in 2014, bro, I did a little comp. He held a comp, right? And this is just before, like, about 2014 when Cogs started popping off, man. Like, when people found out about Cogs and it was popping off. But I listened to Cogs from way back. It was crazy shit. Anyway, I won a comp. I went to Shakedown Studio and I got to record for the day. So I met Rob Shaker and shit, and I was only a little young cunt, like, yeah, only 19, 18. And he's like, yo, who the fuck are you? Where are you from? Would you ever be keen to doing a gig? And I'll be like, yeah, fucking I'm from Cal, yeah, for sure, but you just have to give me some notice. And then he ended up putting me on in this gig in the Yayas, which was in Northbridge somewhere or some shit, and that was about 2014. So that was about my first gig. And that went off, man. Like, for my first gig, I reckon I did pretty well. The content that and shit that I rapped about was probably a lot different and shit, but yeah, no, I did my thing, you know, had fun, and it was a fucking good night, you know, and like, yeah, that was
That,
probably my first one.
that's
But
dope, and it's a pretty cool way. That's a pretty cool opportunity to get given to
yeah,
you, especially coming from Kalgoorlie 6 hours away. He was just like, "Yo, you want a gig?" And then
yeah,
fucking trusted you to
man,
come down and fucking put on a good show. So that, yeah, shout out to that
yeah,
cunt. That's pretty good.
yeah, I know.
Um,
But yeah.
do you really try get yourself on put on shows, or do you kind of wait for people? Like, what's your approach with that?
I'm a fucking terrible marketer. So if a promoter's watching this, fucking hit me up because I don't fucking know fuck all about doing fuck all, you know? So I do my thing and hopefully I can just find a connection somewhere and that opens up a fucking door. But as for now, like, I've had a few boys put me on and shit. Like, you know, Skulker, shout out Skulker and shit. Shout out Shaker because they fucking put me on. But like, yeah, I just, but then there's also my work commitments as well, man, because like in a track that's going to be releasing soon with a fucking collab. It's dropping soon. I don't fucking know when, but it's dropping soon. You will hear about my struggles of me juggling two lives. So yeah,
Yeah, well, we even spoke about that when I was in Perth last. It's almost, and I've spoke about it with other people too that are at at the same sort of level. It's almost where you're at the point where you need to pick music or work. And it's
yeah,
really
there is.
fucking hard because music only brings in low income at the moment. But if you push with it, then there's every chance it's going to bring in high income. But work is what's putting fucking food on the table.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And so you're conflicted, man, and you fucking got to make these decisions. And it's like, fuck, what do I do? You know what I mean? But like, at the end of the day, man, if you just keep doing your fucking thing and you want it to happen, like the laws of attraction shit, man, it'll fucking happen, man. Like I remember I used to sit there and get 20 fucking views on my shit, and now I see what I get now, and I'm so blessed. I'm like, what the fuck? What have I done? I've just kept doing my thing,
A
and
hundred
it's just
percent.
slow.
And I will I agree completely with the laws of attraction and all that sort of shit. But you've got to admit as well, you've progressed. Like even in the last 2 years, I reckon you've progressed fucking tenfold compared to what you used to. Like I just think you found a whole new style in the last couple of years. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. In my last, like, I listened to some of my other songs. Like, I listened to the fucking this new collab that's gonna drop now. I listened to the bars I write in that. Then I even just listened to Overtime, a track that I dropped last month, and I'm just like, that's even changed in itself. But I find that my beat choice is sort of broadening, and I'm sort of trying to cater to something because I'm trying to. I think I've found my sound, but and I've mastered many flows, but I just need to hone in a little bit more and just tweak a little bit more and just keep doing my thing. But as as time goes on, I do think I progress, yeah. But I do think different styles have, been implemented over the years, yeah.
Do you think Overtime was kind of like a little bit like it's a dope track, don't get me wrong, 100% dope track. Do you think it's like your old style but revamped?
I think, yeah. I do think it is a bit. It's
Like
sort of like,
compared to Chasing Dragons, that's more your like compared to that sort of stuff, that's more your old style shit. But it's just
yeah,
got a bit more life to it, you know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. But
And
over time, it's like it's a hard track because it's one of the one of the only songs that give me goosebumps. All
mm,
right, that I've ever. So that's how I know it resonates with me because it was so fucking raw when I wrote it, and I was so just fucking frustrated and just angry with everything that was fucking going on. Like I talk about it, like I'm, conflicted with my fucking job, and I feel like it's a waste of time when I want to be doing other shit. You know what I mean? But then it's also, I don't know, man. It's many things, man. It's like it is my old shit, but it is my new shit at the same time. I think you're right. I think it's my old shit just fucking with
boosted.
a fucking nip tuck lift. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fucking oath. Talking about collabs and shit, who's your dream collab?
Probably King Husky, bro, for sure. Big Husky, that'd be sick.
Fucking
Fuck yeah.
oath.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really ask, like, who in the Australian scene. I don't really like. Obviously, I listen to American music. You listen to American music, UK music, all that sort of shit. But I'd like to keep it fucking Australian when we're talking about it, just because it's such a wide spectrum when you open it up to fucking US artists and shit like that, you know? So, who's your biggest influence inside Australia, growing up and now?
Growing up, definitely Draft, man. I fucking looked up to Draft. I think a lot of fucking cunts from like, Cal and shit loved Draft, as well as the Hoods, the old Hoods and SO, Bliss and SO and shit, but fucking definitely Draft. Bit of Hunter as well. Hunter was pretty heavy on me as well, but yeah, Draft was hardcore. But sort of now, there's one guy from Perth, man. He just he's got flows and he can make fucking beats for days. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but it's Jose Halftime or Josie Halftime.
Yeah.
But he fucks Shadow and shit a lot, man. But I fuck with his shit, man. He's got flows and he's got beats, and I just like his vibe with shit. Like, he is definitely underrated.
100%.
In the rap scene. There's a lot of underrated cunts from Perth, but like, he's definitely one of the most. But probably Husky, man. I fuck with Husky hardcore. Like, everyone does, because everyone can relate to him. He's very relatable and shit.
He brought a whole new vibe to the rap scene in Australia, because he was brutally honest about being sad, brutally honest about his struggles, brutally honest with himself, almost to the point where he'd put himself down. And no one really done that shit inside Australia. No one really, they rapped about their struggles and they rapped about fucking smoking ice and all that sort of shit. But there was no one who was as brutally honest as that cunt, and it just opened the floodgates.
It did, man. It did. And he paints a vivid fucking picture, man. Like, it's so fucking vivid of what he does. Like, he's too dope, man. He's too fucking
100%.
dope. And I do fucking get influence from Husky. Like, no shit. Like you're saying, like, I used to rap, like, a lot of my older shit, like fucking Struggle Street, Self-Destruct, a lot of that older shit where I would fucking lay it on the table. But I think he's sort of inspired me to even be more honest about, like, even just my family and shit and the relationship. So, like, with, like, Chasing Dragons 1, where I talk about my mum, dad, and my brother. Like, dude, that didn't fucking sit well with my old man, dude. My old man heard that song. He didn't fucking like that shit. He was like, dude, that's not for fucking cunts to know. And it's just like, well, dude, the fucking truth hurts, So, but he has definitely inspired me to be more honest, yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest things, bro, is people are afraid to admit what influences them or what inspires them. And there's a massive difference between getting influence from something or getting inspired by something and biting someone's style. There's a massive difference. And people are just too scared to say, like, this cunt inspired me or that cunt inspired me.
Dude, at the end of the day, like, fucking Eminem was inspired by fucking someone. You know what I mean? Fucking, it's like everyone's inspired by fucking someone. You know what I mean? I bet you fucking people like him get inspired by younger cunts going at it and shit now. Like, and that's, so it's like, in that sort of circumstance, you just fucking, you do your thing, but be honest to yourself, man. Do your own fucking work and do your own fucking thing. But there's no rules about gathering inspiration from other people. You're not allowed to fucking listen to them because you're going to get inspired. Like,
100%. I agree completely. Before we wrap it up, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Phew, fuck, man, I don't know what I'm doing next week. Fucking.
I knew that would be.
It's something like, bro, I've been spitballing my whole fucking life. But, dude, next 5 years, I don't know, man. Hopefully, still fucking keeping it real. And
where do you want to be?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know with music. Like, I've never known what the fuck it's going to eventuate to. Like, I want it to be successful. And I want to, do something with it, but at the same time, I honestly don't know what the fuck's going to happen with it. But 5 years, let's just say, I just want to be fucking still putting out real music at least, and just fucking staying true to what's fucking going on with me, and just being a fucking down to earth dude. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Yeah,
yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions that we didn't cover, or do you think we covered most of it?
I think we pretty much covered most of everything, you know what I mean? I don't think that there's anything, that we haven't sort of touched base on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I reckon.
Well, What about your merch? When's the merch dropping? I've seen merch. It looks fucking gangster. When is it dropping?
When I can fucking make a fucking website and shit because I'm fucking technically challenged and shit when it comes to that sort of shit. So like, I gotta fuck around with shit. I've got to make sure, yeah. I don't know. No fucking date. TBH. To be announced. Yeah. TBH.
I'm in the exact same boat, bro. Fucking setting up websites and shit is way bigger fuck around than it looks. And it's so fucking annoying that they make all these fucking loopholes that you got to jump through and shit. Fuck all that. Honestly, my advice for the first run, bro, say first in, best dressed, DM me. I'll send you my PayPal details and boom, do it like that.
I know, right? Because you know what, bro? The fucking first run is limited as fuck, man. Because there's only 9 fucking shirts. So there's 9 fucking shirts. They're all the one fucking size, and they're definitely going to be one off. So, you know, yeah, fucking oath.
All right,
I'll
well,
just do me.
you heard the man. He's got 9 shirts. Just fucking hit him up. I'm sure he'll get onto it. Thanks heaps for your time, bro. I appreciate it.
Easy, bro.
I'm sure we'll do it again sometime soon. And if you fucking like this episode, give it a like, give it a share, show your fucking nana, show your cousin, and we're out. Peace.